Old vans, beat up sedans, trailers. Whatever a person owns becomes their only shelter. And these are not people who drifted into Portland from somewhere else looking for an easy ride. The 2025 point-in-time count, conducted January 22nd by Portland State University's Homelessness Research and Action Collaborative, found that 73% of homeless respondents had lived in the Tri-County area before losing their housing, and 83% came from Oregon or Clark County, Washington.
Yep, those property taxes and insurance rates keep going up, forcing people out of their homes into the streets.
Crisis was born here. The overall numbers from that same January 2025 count are hard to absorb. 10,526 homeless individuals in Multnomah County alone, which represents a 67% increase from 2023, when the count stood at 6,297. 2 years, nearly doubled. By October 2025, the county's rolling by name tracking list had reached approximately 17,000 individuals, with around 7,800 of them unsheltered on any given night. And the county's own spokesperson put it this way: for every...
All right, so they need riders, which they seem to need them in Portland. Where do you think they find them? All right. Yes, they go to the homeless camps, and they pull these people out of the homeless camps and they send them into riot. And so that's one of the things that we have going on now. What's happening is a Southern Poverty Law Center, which funded a lot of that rioting, is under pressure, right? So they're not going to be able to fund a lot of these rioters anymore. So the homeless population is going to go hungry, and they're going to start rioting for real, right? Because there's nothing to eat for them, right? And all of the restaurants and all of the look at the stores and so forth are closing. For well over a year, I've been posting. There's a guy that goes up and down the coast, and he shows all the stores that are closing on city streets and so forth. It's like epidemic up and down the West Coast. And now they're going to start to charge people for not having anyone in their stores or their malls or their office buildings, a vacancy tax. So how dare you, not have somebody in that store? And they're the reason why. Because of all the taxation, because all the things they're implementing, and they're running people out of their states, and there's no one left to go shopping. And those that are don't have the money to shop anymore because they're being taxed, and it's a vicious cycle, right? And now they're struggling to find anyone with any money to pay for this. So the government, they don't pay the fines or whatever. They're going to seize the property, just like they do with people that can't afford to pay the taxes and the insurance and so forth, and the higher electricity rates, all of these things that are happening all across the country. Higher electricity rates because they're doing the AI, plants and that use a lot of water and electricity and so forth. So electricity rates are going up.
Portland just voted to fine landlords for having empty buildings. Not the criminals who emptied them, the landlords. After years of watching Walmart.
So the real criminals that emptied them are the politicians.
Nike, REI, Nordstrom Rack, and CVS walk out the door one by one. Portland City Council is now studying a fee that would punish the property owners left behind for not finding tenants in a city where tenants do not want to come.
And now to downtown Portland, where another business is leaving the Pioneer Courthouse Square area. The CVS Pharmacy, I should say, will soon be shuttering its location on Southwest Broadway.
It looks like all four corners. Nothing there, nothing there, and nothing there. All gone. We have a tent on the left-hand side. Part of the reason why things are boarded up over here. That's how they wish reality was. on that picture, but this is reality.
Population loss in Multnomah County, regional job losses, despite the national labor market growing. People, quote, voting with their feet.
Today, we are going to walk through exactly how Portland got here. What numbers actually show, and why this story is about
Republicans do. All right, so Republicans are just as bad, but a Democrat city like Miami, all right, although there was a Republican there that was running the city, now it's a Democrat, but a Republican was running it. But we know that some of these Republicans are rhinos, and it's like a unit party in a lot of places, guys. So listen to this. This is Miami.
To be in Florida, it's actually better to be in South Florida because the winters are more mild down here, and in northern Florida it can just get downright cold. You know, it snowed like 2 or 3 times in northern Florida this past winter, and a lot of days got down into the 30s and 40s. So that's just
Because we're going to the global cooling. Hello.
too cold for what we want. And a lot of other people are just leaving the state altogether. They're moving to Georgia, they're moving to the Carolinas, they're moving to Tennessee and Texas. They're also moving to Alabama, different southern states where it's more affordable to live. As of November of
So these are the people that are leaving Florida now because it's becoming too expensive. Property taxes, insurance. Of course, Florida's talking about doing away with property taxes. Yeah, we'll see. Well, yeah, we're going to hold our breath for that. No. But a lot of people are leaving Florida, me included. And it's just not what it used to be. Florida is basically, making homes. No more farmland. They're taking farmland away. I heard of one guy. Did you know that one time Florida had more cattle ranches than Texas? Not anymore. All right. So, and that happened over the last several years because everybody flooded into Florida to escape the COVID lockdowns. And now everybody's leaving Florida because it's gotten bad. Right. One former rancher has cattle and so forth. Because one of the reasons the Strait of Hormuz is closed, or one of the consequences of the Strait of Hormuz being closed, is fertilizer is not leaving there and going around the world, which all farmers need fertilizer, right? And this one particular farmer rancher doesn't have enough hay to feed his cattle on the level that he used to. It cost him 4 times more for hay than it did last year at the same time. And this was like a month or 2 ago that I was reading this. So things are getting really bad. And you know what happens when people can't afford their herds? They kill them off, right? And so there might be a little surge in beef to the markets, but after that, the prices go up. So this is happening across the country right now. And it's not looking so good.
2025, nearly half of Floridians who were surveyed said that they have considered leaving the state because of the cost of living. And 90% said they were concerned about inflation, and 80% said they were concerned about housing expenses. And this is leading to a situation where a lot of Florida residents are in big trouble right now, guys. The foreclosures, the debt, and the bankruptcies are absolutely exploding here in the state. If we just look at foreclosure filings, for example, in March, Florida had a foreclosure filing for every 2,124 housing units, which ranked it the third worst in the nation, only behind South Carolina and Indiana. And
All right. In the last downturn, it was Vegas and Florida, and of course the Miami area that had condos and so forth, 80% depreciation from their highs. All right, 80% from their highs. So that's starting to kick in, and we're starting to see the consequences of the COVID lockdown and the free money that went out there, and now we're having another similar lockdown that's coming for a lot of countries, maybe not so much the United States unless you're in California, but in pretty much everywhere else, we're going to see these lockdowns, and they're already beginning.
state had one of the highest foreclosure rates and ranked third in bank repossessions. We also seen a lot of people recently go from 60 days late on their mortgage to 90 days late, according to Federal Reserve data. And Florida also has the highest percentage of mortgage debt that's at least 90 days past due right now. So what does that tell you about the financial squeeze that people here are experiencing? A lot of people are just falling behind. They're never going to catch up, guys. That's part of the reason there's so many listings for sale here right now. If we take a look at Reventure app, home prices in Florida are down 4.1% year over year right now, and projected to go down another 3.4% in the next year. And if
some places a lot more. So it's hitting not just in certain states, but around the country, and we're going to see that continue. Unfortunately, and it's going to start to gather speed and decrease. Home prices will decrease very quickly. And then eventually stock prices, because that's the way that works. All right, Al Gore shifts on global warming. Time to watch out for a new ice age. All right. So he's finally flipped. He was like a couple of years ago, he was the angry man at the World Economic Forum, screaming that, we're headed for another, for all the ice to melt. Of course, the ice is, ever since he came out with global warming, the ice has been increasing at the poles. So, he said there wouldn't be any snow, there wouldn't be any ice at this point, and now he's flipping. He's seen the real thing, because that's the way it happens for liberals, Democrats. Eventually, they can't lie anymore, and so they flip into another lie. They're like, "Oh, was I saying that? This is the real one now. This is the real truth, right?" And actually, he is going into the real truth now. So we're finally going to look at Al Gore and say he's right. He's right finally. Right. So the mass immigration is happening around the world. The Muslims' mass immigration take over the West, and so there is a woman, Ayaan Hirsi Ali. She basically has been warning about this. She's a former Dutch Somali heritage who gave stark warnings to Europe about the consequences of mass immigration from Muslim countries. It did not end well. She had to flee the European continent and move to the United States to evade abuse and death threats from Muslims and constant vile demonization of her message in the left-wing European media. We have to avoid this here in America, guys. It's starting. It's coming. It's already started. All right. Greg Abbott has let a lot of the Muslims come into Texas. All right. The Republic of Texas is not going to be the Republic of Texas very long if we allow this to continue. All right. So she became a Christian, embracing the religion and worldview that has been the backbone of Western civilization. In a recent interview, she pointed out that the conflict with Islamist systems is a battle between absolute good versus absolute evil, rooted in deep theological convictions within Islam. I completely agree with this. I've been saying this for a long time. She says Westerners simply do not understand the worldview of Islamic cultures. Previous engagements in Iraq and Afghanistan failed partly because they ignored this theological dimension. The same is true for Iran, a theocratic nation where its leaders are willing to go to extraordinary lengths to produce the Mahdi messianic return. So she warns of a broad, systematic Islamist goal of global Islamic dominance with the help of the Western left. So the Western left, they need new slaves because we don't want to be their slaves anymore. So they have to bring in new slaves. They've been doing this for a long time, guys. Civil War, you name it. They've been doing this for a long time, so way long before they came to America. Right? The gradual increase of Islamist populations in the West happens through migration and very high birth rates, coupled with active political mobilization. The constant attack on traditional Western Judeo-Christian values reflects the partnership between radical Islam and the mainstream left. Democrats are fascist Islamists, right? Pretty much. That's why they want to bring them here. Radical Islam is actively exploiting left-wing multiculturalism, using it to take control in Western nations. Multiculturalism. Several cultures living side by side in a nation where the host country is not imposing its own cultural values on incoming immigrant groups. It's a racist Marxist narrative that completely and thoroughly dominates Europe. The fact that the rampant Somali fraud in Minnesota amounted to billions of dollars has continued unchecked for so many years is yet another example of the effects of multiculturalism. I say enough is enough, all right? In Europe, it has become almost impossible since the 1970s to criticize any non-Western immigrants, regardless of the topic is illegal. If the topic is illegal immigration, rape, or murder, the very instant a person points to the negative effects of non-Western mass immigration, he is shot down by the left-wing media as a racist, bigot, Islamophobe, Nazi, fascist, misogynist. The horrifying gang rape cases in the UK, where thousands of indigenous white girls were systematically exploited by Muslim men for decades, is but one of many examples. No one stood up for these girls publicly and demanded accountability from UK authorities until journalist and author Tommy Robinson came along. Thank you, Tommy Robinson. But is it having an effect? I think they're waking up some Brits and the Irish, fighting Irish. Fighting Irish. They want to stop this bullshit. All right, guys. A lot of problems in the world. In the United States, we covered them. We have to work together to win. And the only way we win is if we, the people, band together and get rid of Democrats and leftists. All right. It's got to happen. We have to get them out. We cannot let them, win in 26. They don't win. They basically select. We cannot allow them to have the opportunity to select more leftist demon rats, right? And that's not to say that the rhinos are good. I don't agree with the rhinos either. They got to go as well. And both political parties at some point go away. I mean, great example of why they both need to go away is 80% of Americans want the Save America Act to go through, and they won't pass it. And why? Because if it gets passed, then they go bye-bye. And they want to control and continue with their power structure and to destroy not only the United States, but all of the Western world. All right. So we have to basically, that's right, make them shark bait. David, that's good. All right. Let's go for a long swim. Why aren't you coming? Where I'm going to be in the boat to make sure you're safe. All right. I'll paddle along and make sure if anything happens, I'll be good. All right. All right. So I've swam with sharks. They're not so bad. All right. They're pretty cool. If you're a badass, you have to be a badass. If you're a pansy leftist, they're going to eat your ass. Right. So I'll get in the water and just watch. Right. All right. Funny. All right, guys. Lots of love. Stay in the love vibration. And we'll see you guys next time.